So I've got a really quick and simple video for you guys today. When Brian stayed over my house last weekend, he gave me a phone mount, and at first I was like, oh cool, a phone mount. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like its own standalone video, but then when I actually saw it in his car, I was like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. I bet my subscribers would like that. So I'm going to show you how to put this thing in. Basically, it's a magnetic, vehicle-specific phone mount. It actually bolts into your car's dashboard, which is pretty neat. It's only going to take like 5 minutes to install it, and they make these for the F30, the E90, and a couple other BMW models. I'll link them down below, but let's throw this thing in the car and I'll show you how it works. So opening up the box here, you've got a couple little goodies. You've got a Keys Motorsports keychain, little vinyl sticker, and then this is the bracket that's actually going to mount into your car's dashboard. I'll show you how to install this in a minute. These are little self-adhesive metal pieces. This is what's actually going to stick to the back of your phone so that will stick to the magnet. And then this is the actual magnet itself. As you can see, it's got a ball mount on the back so it can swivel. You can have it at any angle that you want. So the first thing that we have to do is just a little Allen screw here. We have to attach this to the bracket before we can put it in the car. And that's how it's going to look before we install it. So then it comes with two of these metal pieces. I'm going to use this bigger square one. It's got a little bit more surface area, and then as you can see, it's just got this adhesive backing that you can peel off. Now I decided to put it underneath my phone case because it is made out of metal. I don't want, like, if I set my phone on something, I don't want it to scratch whatever it is. So it is very thin, so you could still put your case on top of this piece. But we'll just stick it on there. Make sure that it's good and secure. And then I guess just to show how thin that piece is, I will put my case back on. And just like that, hardly even know it's there. So now looking inside the car, the phone mount actually is going to go right around here in this area. When you take this trim off, there's basically two Phillips screws underneath here. So we'll take off the trim and we'll get this bolted up. So just in case you were wondering, this is the microphone, so don't worry about that. If it looks weird on camera, I'm sorry. Basically, the first thing we have to do is we have to pull back on this top aluminum trim. You don't have to take it all the way out. That way you don't have to like unplug the stop start button. You just need enough room so you can start pulling on this trim underneath. I really like the aluminum trim. Some people like the wood. The rest of us are under age 70. Just kidding, there's a time and a place for wood, but that place is not inside my car. So once you have the trim out of the way, all you really have to do for this climate control is just pull straight back on it. That'll pop right out. There's not really anything that holds that in. This part is a little bit tricky. This is the trim that goes around the radio. And you can use a pry tool like this just so that you don't break it. I don't know if you can see my dog got a hold of this one, but just very carefully pop this out. And then those two Phillips head screws are going to be right down on the bottom here. So just a little close up here of those screw locations. Now it's funny because I've had this car for over 6 years, done numerous DIY projects. I think this is the first time that I've seen Phillips screws on this vehicle. So again, there's just two of them. Just take those out, set them aside. And then your bracket is actually going to attach right here. Now one little note, and I'm going to grab the camera really quick so that I can show you an alternate angle. The bracket is actually going to go underneath the metal on here. That's the only way that it's going to fit. So again, I'll show you a close-up of what that looks like. So here's the front view of that bracket, and again, the phone mount is going to go underneath the metal bracket that's already in the car. Once you've got it all assembled, just put your trim back the way that it came off. It is really hot in here. But anyway, really simple 5-minute DIY. You guys will be able to hook this up at home, no problem. Now, I've used a couple different phone mounts over the years. I was using the vent clip for a really long time, but phones have just got so heavy that I just felt like it was never really secure up there. Driving down different roads, the phone would be like flopping all over the place. And not to mention it blocks one of your vents, which sucks. Now recently I've been using this suction cup one on the window, which is better, but you have to use 2 hands to put it on. I know it's not that big of a deal, but still kind of sucks. It's like the small things that make a big difference. Plus, when you're not using your phone on it, it just kind of looks dorky, like stuck to your windshield. But with this one, it's just so clean, so simple. Just stick your phone on it and you're good to go. That's why when I saw it in Brian's car, I was like, I have to do a video on this. I'm sure that somebody will appreciate that. And I have to be honest with you guys, there are a lot of times where I second guess myself, like with the more simple videos. But what I've learned is sometimes it's like the most simple topics that end up helping the most people. So if you enjoyed the video, if you got something out of it, just give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And then obviously the links for this will be down in the description if you want to check those out. So one last thing, leave a comment down below and let me know what navigation app you guys like to use. Now personally, I'm a Google Maps guy myself. That's what I always use. A lot of people tried to convince me to switch to Waze. I tried that for a few weeks and it just wasn't for me. I think that the interface looks kind of weird and I just feel like it gives you the directions like way too late. Like you'll be on the highway like driving past the exit that you're supposed to get off at, and then at the last second it's like, turn right now! And it's like, it just gives you it way too late. Whereas with Google Maps, maybe it doesn't have as many features, but at least it gives you the directions like well in advance so that you can get over, you can change lanes, do what you need to do. But battle it out in the comments, let me know what the best navigation app is, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Justin, B-U-I-C-E, is going to be a fantastic resource if you guys are seriously looking at like an E90 through E92. I'm serious, the dude's an absolute champ. He shares a ton of information on these cars and a lot of it is really good stuff.
One last thing really quick before I forget, Fitment Industries recently uploaded a video called So You Want to Buy an E92. It's kind of like an E90 buyer's guide, but they mentioned my name in the video. They gave me a shout out and recommended my YouTube channel, which is just surreal because I've been such a huge fan of their stuff the past couple of years. To hear them say my name is kind of crazy, but I'll link the video down below. Definitely check it out. Let them know that I sent you. And yeah, they're one of my favorite YouTube channels for car stuff. One of the few car channels that I follow consistently. If you guys want to learn anything about wheels, suspension, or fitment, they are absolutely the authority channel on that stuff. So definitely give them a follow. And again, let them know that I sent you. It's pretty cool. But anyway, that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.